I'm about to tell you some things that a lot of people don't realize. Now, during the 2024 election, when Donald Trump got in office, they said that black men voted for Trump at 21%, but overall, black people voted for Kamala Harris at 83%, which was a bump down from what black people voted for Biden at 92%. Because if you look at most of the Democratic candidates from Jimmy Carter on up, black people have always given Democrats a 92 or higher percentile. I think Obama got about 95, 96. He's the highest turnout of black voters in the history of this country. Now, I have some stats from Booking, so I know that there'll be some people out there that'll watch this video and say, oh, this is not true. Well, I have cited my sources. I'm going to show you the article that you can look at from 2020, and you will be my guest to look this stuff up as I'm going to present some things to you that's going to change the narrative. And the narrative is black men. What's happening is that we have black immigrants here. We have Africans. We have Caribbeans like Haitians, Jamaicans, Dominicans that are here from the Caribbean. We have black people from the diaspora who have come into America over a period of years. And I just found out today, looking at a video, that there's actually been more migration from Africa into America than all of the slave trade. Because remember, only 4% of black people through the triangular slave trade, if you believe that, because I know there's some people out there that say, no, we were always here. How could they put all these people on boats and ship and pack them in like sardines? But the fact of the matter is, if true, the stats currently stand at 4% of black people, between 4 and 5% of black people were dropped off into what we call the Americas or America. The majority of people of African ancestry were dropped off in Brazil. Let me know if you can hear my mic nice and crispy. Oh, Miranda, thank you for the super chat already. Jumping it out there and giving a brother a super chat. I appreciate that. You say, information man and everyone, I am disappointed that so many Haitians supported this administration and now they are seeing what is going on. You just stole my theme of today's show. That's exactly where I'm getting at, Sister Miranda, in my presentation. I just had to break some things down. And that is, a small number of us were brought from what we call Africa. More Africans have migrated into America since that time of their own free will. Okay? Now, why am I saying this? Because part of the problem in this country is that they conflate all black people into one big giant Negro, that we're all just one big black happy family. And this is the thing. Other groups of people, they delineate. A Jamaican will clearly let you know that they're Jamaican. Africans will clearly let you know, hey, I'm Nigerian, I'm South African, I'm Kenyan. They don't even get along with each other in the continent of Africa. With each other, they're fighting, just as Europeans were fighting each other too. So when they come over here, their numbers get conflated into our numbers, and you get a skewed number of how many black men actually voted for Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris versus Biden. And I'm here to disappoint a lot of you that are Trumpers or that are thinking that you did something to keep Kamala Harris out of office. And I wasn't a big supporter of Kamala Harris. There were things about her I did not like. But what I'm saying to you, the reason why Trump got into office was not because of 21% of black American born black men. Black American black men still voted overwhelmingly, hate to bust your bubble, for Kamala Harris. The good majority of that 21% came from black immigrants who have bumped up their support for Donald Trump at 30 percentile. So Haitians make up that voting bloc, Africans from the continent, Jamaicans, and of course, we know what the Latinos did. They said, we will vote for Donald Trump. And so what's happening to with the Haitians as it relates to TPS is that, I hate to say it, as my title says, they voted against their political interests because they voted for Donald Trump when Donald Trump told them what he was going to do. So we're talking about Haitians who were citizens, who got their paperwork, like the brother Chef Wilkinson out there in Miami that now says his business is about to blow up. He's going to lose it. This is because they voted against their interests, and they've been voting. A lot of these black immigrants that come over here, they don't vote the way black Americans vote. So when they put those numbers out about how many black people voted, it's not a true representation because they really don't focus on splitting the stats of the delineation because they just put us into one big old pot and say, you just one big old Negro. Now, let me play this for you all. Look, I'm going to just keep it real. I hate to see that this is happening to this brother Chef, okay? Obviously, he's been in business, as he said, for 34 years. He's losing his people of his heritage are losing their jobs, or they left him, they fled because they're concerned about being deported because Donald Trump, who people like him voted for. So when Haitians that are citizens voted for Donald Trump, you voted for your own people, particularly those that were here on TPS status. Your vote caused them to be deported out of here. Black Americans didn't have anything to do with this. We warned y'all about the individual called the Orange Man in the White House. We know Donald Trump. We know white folks. We know this country better than all of y'all. Black Americans have been here since the very beginning, at the very foundation. Hell, we fought in the Revolutionary War. Crispus Attucks was the first black man to die in the war, and some believe that he should have died because he fought on the wrong side for white freedom, right? We fought in World War I, World War II, Civil War. We fought in the Civil War. We have the Tuskegee Airmen. If it wasn't for them, we would have never won World War II. Then you have the Triple Nickel Group, all parachuting troopers of black soldiers, the Triple Nickel. Check that out. Look that up. So black people have been at the heart of this country. Jamaicans didn't start coming over here to America and getting citizenship until 1975. It was the Voters' Right Act with Dr. King standing right behind LB. And damn it, I should have put that picture in my system. And when they signed that act, it changed everything for people to immigrate over here. But people come over here and they shit and spit and talk crap to black Americans, and you wouldn't even be over here when our people were doing the fighting and creating the laws that make it safe for you to walk down these streets. And now your people are here on temporary status, and you didn't use critical thinking skills when Trump told you what he was going to do. This black man right here, the chef from Miami, you miscalculated. First of all, when Donald Trump was running for president the second time, he already told you what he was going to do right here.
What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. And it's a shame. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating.
Who do you think he was talking about? He was talking about Haitians. So my question, and this is not hate, this is not trying to tear people down. I mean, people who come over here, they become citizens, they get some type of status, green cards, what have you. I'm not hating on folks. I'm simply illustrating that a mistake was made. How could this man, the chef, tell you and me, how could any Haitians vote for Donald Trump when Donald Trump told you what he was going to do, that he was going to deport everybody out of here, that was his goal. That was his whole goal, was to get all of y'all out of here. People just thought it was Latinos. No, he meant everybody that had some type of status that he didn't agree with or did not like. He called your people animal eaters. He said that you come from a shithole country. So any Haitians that voted for Donald Trump, it was a miscalculation. It was a bad decision. And now, and if there's any trolls in here, please, those that have mod wrenches in blue, get them the hell you know what out of here. He told y'all what he was going to do. So by you voting for him, and check this out, the Haitians were voting for Donald Trump in 2016 when he first got in office. This ain't no one-time rodeo. I'm going to show you the stats today. And I want people to get out of your mind that, oh, Black American men are the reason why. No, the highest percentage of Black men who voted for Donald Trump in comparison to Kamala Harris or Biden or whoever, it was immigrant Black men who are immigrants, who are citizens. They're the ones who bumped it up to that 30%. People been running around YouTube and social media talking about, look at what Black Americans did. We made sure no, it was the immigrants. And in doing so, they voted against their interests. And now they're crying the blues because Donald Trump wants their people out of here. But they failed to realize or failed to pay attention to what he was saying, because maybe they thought, well, it ain't going to affect me. But check this out. The chef, it's affecting him because the people that work for him in the community of Miami at his Creole, his Chef Creole, I think he goes by the name of Chef Wilkins, the people that work for you, brother, the people that work for you, you didn't think enough to realize that some of them have this TPS status that's been here for damn near 20 years or more. And then another thing that people got to realize, and I appreciate everybody in the chat room, is that TPS status is simply that, temporarily. You were not citizens. So therefore, you were at risk under any administration. Under the Trump administration, you were highly at risk, because he's been talking about wanting to get people out of here even when he was in his first term, and you guys voted for him. And I'm going to show you the stats on that. And you voted for him in numbers that still was higher than Black Americans. Now, when I say Black Americans, I'm talking about Black people that were born here, that come from them, that have lineage here, that are indigenous here, who come from them plantations in Alabama and Mississippi, okay, Oklahoma, Black folks that were on these plantations, Black folks that were sharecroppers, Black people that were part of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and building Black Wall Street, Rosewood. We're talking about Black folks that their blood is in the soil at the very foundation of this country. Let me go ahead and show you the video of I got to show it. It's kind of sad because he regretted, okay? The chef really regretted what he did, but you got to use critical thinking skills, y'all.
The Chef Creole restaurant in Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood is typically bustling with customers. Not today.
People are scared.
Owner Wilkinson Sejour says it's not just the clientele. After 34 years in business, he's lost his entire management team at 7 locations and will likely have to shut down 2 stores due to the end of temporary protected status.
The end of TPS means for me that my future in the hospitality business is almost going to be non-existent.
On Sunday, federal officers
Did you hear
made
that?
an immigration arrest outside one of his restaurants.
I voted for Donald Trump.
What would you say to the president that you voted for?
He sold to me that he is a businessman and that he will be making business decisions.
Do you regret?
Let me say this to you, everybody. Donald Trump is not a good businessman. That people keep running with this theme. What has Donald Trump done prior to what he's made, the money that he's made? And check this out, the money that he's made in the White House, I think he's got $4 billion that he's earned in cryptocurrency, is because he ripped people off with cryptocurrency. You know that crypto is a scheme, and when you pump it high and you get people to buy in and then you pull out, you take their money. Donald Trump has always made his money off of schemes. Donald Trump inherited his money from his father, Fred Trump, whose ancestors came over here illegally themselves. Donald Trump's father, Fred Trump, was involved in real estate, where he tried to discriminate against black folks in housing in the place that I was born in the state of Maryland, where he had to be sued. Donald Trump was also sued for housing discrimination, which is what he's been doing in the White House now, is he's trying to get rid of that charge against him. He's very slick. He's made his money, and he had the nerve to say on video that he really didn't care about people's economic survival in this country, because he got us in this war that's going to drain. That war is draining the military, draining us economic. This man is putting us in a ditch. Donald Trump is a figment of your imagination as a businessman, because he was on a TV show called The Apprentice. There's the producers of that show have already come out and said everything about that show was an illusion, that Donald Trump wasn't a great businessman. He didn't have all the stuff that you thought he had. It was part of a show. The show had reinvented him, and people brought into it hook, line, and sinker. Donald Trump, as New Yorkers, people that are New Yorkers, like my man, House of Entertainment, is from the New York area. People that are New Yorkers already knew for years that this man was a con man. He's conning the country. He's enriching himself off of the country and taxpayers. He inherited the money from his father. And he's good at marketing and putting his name on stuff. You can't tell me what Trump is building. He's built some ugly hotels. He's built some hotels. But all of that was seed money from his daddy. And prior to him getting in office a second time, they said he was losing his wealth. He got an infusion of wealth when he ran a second time that put him back on top. So he's not a good businessman, and you can't run the country the way you run a business. It's not the same. Because he's cutting all kind of social programs, all kind of social services, health, and all that. That affects people. Let's get back to this. This is a damn shame. Let's just get back to it. Here it is, brother.
Your vote?
Yes, I do.
Despite reports from the United Nations of escalating gang violence fueling displacement in Haiti, the Trump administration has stated the country no longer meets the
Thank you, brother. I'm cooking with grease. Thank you.
Designation. TPS holder Farah LaRue has been living in the United States since 2005. We met her last year as she prepared for the end of the program. Today, she's in hiding.
There's people that say, well, temporary protected status is supposed to be temporary.
Why are you so focused on temporary and not?
I have a problem with that. She said that why are you focusing on temporary and not the status, because Haiti is a mess. And I agree, it is a mess. But the fact is, young lady. The fact is, ma'am, that's exactly what it is. It's temporary, which means A, you're not a citizen. B, it can be changed at any time. And I understand that Haiti is not in good shape. But then again, I have to say this: why can't the Haitians clean their country up? Why is it that the gangs, they always talk about black on black crime with us in America? Why can't the black folks in Haiti clean it up? Why are the gangs running wild? People will say, well, it's because the United States is suppressing the country. The United States and the French and all these people that they owe money to because they whipped the French and the Europeans' ass during the Revolutionary War they had 1804. I get it. But but this is the thing. Why can't the gangs and the people in Haiti get their effing mess together? Stop fighting each other. Stop, because I'm going to keep it real with you. The white man is not making them burn stuff down. The white man is not making them harm themselves. You got that guy Barbecue over there, one of the gang leaders. Remember they interviewed him? Why don't they clean it up? Now, Haiti has had corrupt leadership. It's wild out there. Why can't the folks that have been here all these years, why can't y'all go back and clean your country up? You come over here, you tell black Americans, what have we done? But yet you're over here. I get it. Protective. You came over under protective situations because of the earthquake that happened in Haiti and all the things that were happening. But this is where I feel the lady here, all due respect to her, she's a little arrogant in the way she said what she said here.
Today, she's in hiding.
There's people that say, well, temporary protected status is supposed to be temporary.
Why are you so focused on temporary and not focusing on protected when the law is about protecting those who cannot go back to their country?
LaRue is among the 330,000 Haitian nationals.
Okay, I get what
living
she's saying
the
there,
US
but
with TPS.
you still should
I
have
want
prepared
the
for
world
this.
to know that going back to Haiti is a death sentence.
I get it. This is the thing. The Haitians that are under TPS status have been here for over 20 years or more. Most of the administrations, not only Democratic administrations, but you had Republican administrations like Bush, Senior, Bush, Junior, they have allowed them to stay here this long. But what I don't understand is that when Trump came into the lexicon as a president, going back to 2016 when he beat Hillary Clinton, he was talking about deporting people back then. What I'm saying is, to me, all due respect to the Haitian population here, Haitian people, those that had TPS status, you should have been preparing yourself. As I said in a previous video, you should have been preparing yourself a long time ago for the potential that this day could happen. But I think what happened is that you all thought that this was just going to go on and go on forever, and that nobody like Donald Trump would come along when he already was talking about this in 2016 when y'all voted for him. Those that are citizens, that are Haitian, and other immigrants.
In fact, the State Department has a level 4 travel advisory warning Americans not to travel to Haiti. Haitian Americans that I spoke to said that some have started carrying around their U.S. passports because they're concerned about being targeted.
I get it, everybody. I get it. Nobody wants to be targeted. No one wants to be treated poorly. Totally get it. I'm sorry that these things are happening, but Black Americans, we try to warn and give a little game to our immigrant brothers and sisters, but they don't listen to us. They tell us, shut up, you Black Americans. They have names for us that are derogatory. When we try to tell them how this country works. White society that governs this country overall has had a history of reneging on treaties and deals. You saw what happened to the Native Americans. See, Black people, we know the history. We saw what happened to the Native Americans. We saw how they broke treaties or promises to us. They told Black Americans that we were going to get 40 acres and a mule. And that all turned out to be a lie. What y'all say in the chat room? I want to say, oh, we got Miss Independent saying yes. Oh, we got the Barbie girl is in the house. Everybody that's here, I want to say thank you for coming over. I know I haven't gone live in a while. Because what I've been trying to do is to put as much content out, which a lot of that content has been uploaded videos. Make sure y'all check out the video I did on Sydney Star. Make sure you check out the video I did about Nolan Wells and those so-called fake friends who come out with a GoFundMe or Give, Send, and Go to make money off his name. So I'll still be doing these lives, but to increase the volume and get my channel further into the algorithms, I will be loading up those uploaded videos. That's necessary for me to do that, to keep this channel operating and moving forward and giving you as much content, because sometimes I'm not able to go live. So that's why I have to supplement these uploads. And I hope you like the effects that I put on the uploads too. Now, let me show you another video where Trump, this is all before Trump became president. Again, Haitian citizens, y'all heard what he said, and you still voted for him. And then in doing so, your people are being impacted now, which is impacting you in business like it did Chef Creole. His business is going to be closing. He said he got to close some stores. I bet you the food is good in there, but brother, I'm sorry this is happening, but you shouldn't have voted for Donald Trump.
Between bomb threats and evacuations, the city of Springfield has been on edge ever since Donald Trump amplified those false claims about Haitian migrants who live there, and officials have warned that a campaign stop.
I'm going to get to the stats. Don't y'all go nowhere.
Overnight, Donald Trump telling his supporters he plans to visit Springfield, Ohio, after amplifying false claims that Haitian migrants in Springfield were eating neighborhood pets.
Oh my God.
You may never see me again, but that's okay. Got to do what I got to do. Whatever happened to Trump? Well, he never got out of Springfield.
Springfield's mayor has warned against a visit from any candidate. The city has had at least 33 bomb threats.
Here would be an extreme strain on our resources. So it would be fine with me if they decided not to make that stop right now.
Trump going after the mayor at his rally on Long Island, New York.
I think he's a very nice person. But instead of saying we're getting them all out, we're getting them out. He says very simply, we're hiring teachers to teach them English.
You see this?
Can you believe it? We are hiring interpreters.
The Republican governor of Ohio has defended Haitian immigrants, most of whom are in the country legally, calling them a boost to the economy. The former president once again promising to carry out the largest deportation in U.S. history.
Now, how many of y'all in the chat room, by putting sevens in the chat room, remember that Springfield, Ohio was desolate? They were falling apart. The people that were there left. And then when the Haitians were allowed to come into they were there, the government had sanctioned for them to come into the country, to live in that community and help that community rebuild itself, because the community was in a shamble economically. They couldn't find anybody to work. Now, you can make an argument, well, why couldn't they have found Americans to take jobs, right? Because, hey, well, Americans need jobs, right? But their claim is that they couldn't get any local Americans to do the job. So they imported people in from Haiti. They were there. Donald Trump didn't like it. He called them, he said again, they're eating the animals. And you heard him say right there, you're spending money teaching them how to speak English and hiring teachers. And he was laughing about it. And y'all didn't pay attention. And you can't sit up here and cry the blues now when all the warning signs were there. Now, let's break down what's the stats on Haitian in America. So in America, Haitian Americans and foreign-born Haitian immigrants make up roughly 0.34% of the total United States population, according to the U.S. Census Bureau estimate that the population with Haitian ancestry is over 1.13 million out of the total of the United States population, roughly 340 million. So there's quite a bit of Haitians in the country that are also citizens, but also made a bad decision voting for Donald Trump. Let me show you. This goes all the way back to what I was saying, 2016. I want y'all to see this right here. This is a very important stat. Did you guys know this historical? This is historical data that estimated that in 2016 election, a analysis of voters files in heavy Haitian American precincts in South Florida by University of Florida political scientist Dan Smith estimated that Donald Trump won roughly 20% of the Haitian American vote selected in Palm Beach, Broward County precinct. And then you go back to this situation where this guy, Creole, is saying that he can't get his employee. He's losing his employees because a lot of Haitians in South Florida, y'all voted for this man.
The Chef Creole restaurant in Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood is typically bustling with customers. Not today.
People are scared.
Owner Wilkinson Sejour says it's not just the clientele. After 34 years in business, he's lost his entire management team at 7 locations and will likely have.
He's lost his entire management team because back in 2016, they voted for Donald Trump. Now you say, now what does 2016 have to do with 2024? It has a lot to do with 2024. The same people that were down with Trump, that were Haitian in Miami, voted for Trump again in 2024. This cat right here, Chef Creole, who's now saying he's lost all of his management team. He's lost customers who were probably a lot of Haitian customers, and his management team has fallen apart. And he's looking at closing down Chef Creole stores that he has. Yeah, I think he had 2 other stores, or 2 other restaurants, should I say, eateries that are closing down. This goes back to 2016. That was the genesis, because that's when Donald Trump finally got into office the first time, and a lot of Haitians in South Florida at 20% put this man into office. And those same Haitians that put him in office in 2016 were still down with Donald Trump in 2024. This is the problem. This is the problem, folks. This is why, unfortunately, they are feeling the pain, and Chef Creole is now going to lose. He's a citizen, but he's going to probably be out of business. He's going to have to find, I hate to say it, he's going to be looking at the one ads, because he may be, this is an example of someone who's probably second generation. I don't know if he's first generation. I think he's second generation, maybe Haitian. He's looking at the fact that he may no longer be in business as an independent businessman because he voted for Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, literally the same man that said that Haitians are eating dogs and cats. Donald Trump has literally put you out of business, man. And I'm not laughing about it. I'm just telling you there's a problem here. And let me show you this article right here. You all can look this up so that you know that I'm not making anything up. My data is on point, cannot be argued. And here's the article right here I want y'all to examine. Not Like Us, exploring the foreign-born black men distinct voting patterns in 2020 election. What does it mean? I'm not trying to cause problem, but the fact of the matter is foreign-born black men don't vote the same way. And I'm going to show you the stats in the way that American-born black men, and I'm focusing on the men because remember there was all this big deal that it was black men who gave Donald Trump 21%. It was not black American. That was at the highest peak of that. It was foreign black men. I'm not trying to hate. I'm simply going to show you what the stats say. Okay, you can find these stats in Booking, but this is the headline right here, and you can look it up and read the article. I'm going to show you pieces of this article. I'm going to read the most important parts in this article that I have clipped, highlighted, so that you can know exactly what I'm talking about. Where do you see on their shirts? Blacks for Trump. A lot of these folks that you see walking around saying blacks for Trumps, some of them are not black Americans. Some of them are Haitian. Some of them are Caribbean, other parts of the Caribbean. that vote different from us because they don't have our lineage, they don't have our background in America, they don't see things the way we see things, because every group is not the same. We are not monolithic. We don't all think the same just because we're black. Black people from other parts of the diaspora of the world have different sets of priorities and ideologies and what have you that a lot of times people don't tend to realize and understand. What happens with the black vote in America is that all these black groups, as I said in the beginning of this video, all black people's votes get lumped into this one big giant Negro. And then you never see and then all of a sudden, just like when there's crime, right? Different groups come here and commit crime and it all gets lumped into black America. Nobody says, well, a Haitian did this or an African did this. They just say a black person did this. And then you begin to think, oh, black Americans are doing all these things. Does that represent black Americans that were born here, who have lineage here, that come off those plantations in this country? We don't know this because they don't break the stats like that. It was even hard for me to find this information that I'm talking to y'all about right now when this article popped up before my very eyes. Let me give you a piece of this article right now. Here go a stat right here. Listen to this right here. As this blog will further explain or explore the analysis on the issue, or my analysis on the issue, concluding that in 2020, foreign-born black men showed the most support for Donald Trump at 30%. Didn't I say Haitians in particular in Florida gave Donald Trump 20% in 2016? Here in 2020, when Biden won the election, but it was still black immigrant men who still gave Donald Trump a higher percentage from black men, even though black men still voted for Kamala Harris and Biden at high numbers. It was a niche group of foreign black men or black people or black men who have foreign background who gave him 30% versus 11% of U.S. born and 10% of second generation black men. These different changes, these different challenges, these differences challenges the idea of a uniform black vote. There is no such thing, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me, of a uniform black vote amongst us. When you have black people here from various different countries and cultures and language and fourways and Norways, when they get mixed in with black Americans, we don't vote the same way. I'm going to say it again. In 2020, foreign black men showed the most support for Donald Trump at 30% versus 11% of U.S. born and 10% of second generation black men. These differences challenges the idea of a uniform black vote. So when people were running around talking about black American men are the reason why Donald Trump got in office, that they gave him this high percentage, when people like Barack Obama was wagging his finger in our face and telling us why we shouldn't vote for Trump, he was wagging his finger in the wrong face, because it wasn't black Americans who are the reason that made up that 21% in high numbers. It was the same black foreign men who voted for him at 30% versus 11% for U.S. born black men. It was that same group who voted for Donald Trump in the same way in 2024. You understand what I'm saying? Put sevens in the chat room if you're with me. You hear what I'm saying? Peace to everybody that's in the chat room. We got Real Reliable. We got House of Entertainment. We got Miss Independent. We've got Laura in the house. Thank you for being here. I'm trying to make out these names. Okay, we got 007. He voted for him too. Everybody that's here. We got Alicia. I see you, Alicia. I see Miranda. I see good people in the chat room. This is a beautiful chat room, beautiful people that are here supporting the brother here. I appreciate that, but I'm trying to educate right now. I don't know how many of y'all knew this, because remember when Donald Trump got in office, everybody came down on black men and everybody came on black people talking about, oh, black people didn't come out and vote for Kamala Harris. Oh, black men didn't vote. Yes, Kamala Harris only got 83% of the vote. And yes, there were black men who did not either vote, which would still be a vote for Trump, or did vote for her, or vote for Trump, but it wasn't in the high percentage that you think. Out of that 21%, you still had foreign black men who really laid it on the line and said, he's our man, because they already liked Trump, at least with the Haitian population that's getting deported out of here. Haitians, they were down with Trump back in 2016 when he ran the first time. They were down with Trump in 2020 and 24. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Let's go to another slide. Now I'm going to read this slowly so that everybody gets the gist of what I'm saying. It goes deeper in this article, y'all, from statistical analysis of the ATP wave. Most black male voters surveyed were U.S. born at 79.61%. In contrast to fewer were foreign born at 11.83%, or second generation black American men at 8.56%. Among black American male voters, foreign born black American men exhibit the most substantial support for Donald Trump. Do y'all hear me? Put sevens in the chat room if y'all hear me. So anytime anybody gets up in your face talking about, oh, the reason why Donald Trump got that 21%, it was because of black American born. No, it wasn't. It was because of the majority. It was a larger percentage of foreign born black men who were running around with these shirts on like this. Okay? You seen them. They're the ones running around wearing the Make America Great Again hat. When you see these people, you got to think about what's their lineage. I'm not trying to be what do you call that? Divisive here. I'm just telling the truth. You got to wonder with a side eye when you see some of these so-called black folks
Tell the truth.
running around with Donald Trump shirts on and running around with Make America Great Again. You got to ask yourself, as a real black American, as a black American born here with lineage and family that's been here since very day one, you have to ask yourself, is this Negro a black American, or is this Negro potentially a second generation or a foreign Negro who came over here through immigration and is now voting against their own interests when Trump said he want to get all of y'all out here? Let me continue here. American male voters, foreign born black American men exhibit the most substantial support for Donald Trump, with a whopping, and I told y'all this already, 30% of them casting their votes for Trump. The support far exceeds the 11% from their U.S.-born counterparts. That's us, y'all. That's black Americans. While second-generation black American men exhibit even less support for Donald Trump, with only 10% backing him. Do y'all hear what I said? So American-born black men are not supporting Donald Trump in the high numbers that people think that you think they are. Here is the article, if y'all want to look this up yourself. Not Like Us, exploring the foreign-born black men distinct voting patterns in 2020 election. Reason why I bring this 2020 up, because the same black men who voted for Donald Trump in 2020, which were a large foreign group of black men, are the same ones that was down with Donald Trump for his 2024 campaign. Now, I already told y'all the Haitians in South Florida made a big mistake when they voted for Donald Trump in South Florida in Palm Beach, Broward County precinct, when they voted for Donald Trump at 20% in 2016 election. They voted for Trump in higher numbers than American-born blacks in Florida.
Information is power.
We got to give you that power. Stay with me, folks. Don't veer off because we're reading. This is education. This is to enlighten we're enlightening each other. Black American men exhibit even less support for Donald Trump, with only 10% backing him. This stark contrast emphasizes the unique political inclination of foreign-born Black American men who may resonate more strongly with Trump, with his, check this out, that they may resonate more strongly with Trump's rhetoric. And Trump already told them he was getting rid of you. He told you your people eat dogs and cats, and you voted for him. He told y'all, and y'all was down with him in 2020 when he lost to Biden. And then he turns around and y'all vote for him again when he told you, particularly the Haitians, when he told y'all that y'all eat dogs and cats. And that wasn't enough insult that you would not vote for him? It's crazy. Let me continue. American men who may resonate more strongly with Trump rhetoric, potentially influenced by various culture and social economic perspectives shaped by their immigration experience, in contrast to United States-born second-generation Black American men exhibit similar voting patterns, both being significantly less inclined to support Trump than their foreign-born counterparts. Ladies and gentlemen, have I told the truth?
Tell the truth.
Or have I not told the truth? One of the things that the foreign Black population focuses on a lot more than we do as Black Americans, and it makes sense, they are focused on immigration issues because they want their people, their family members, to be able to come over here, and they want to be able to get them over here. So obviously, foreign Black men and women are going to be in favor of immigration. But Donald Trump told you all what he was going to do, and you still voted for him. It does not make any sense. Article 2 of this. Now check this out. In the debate is the role of immigration status amongst Black men and Black Americans more broadly. Currently, 12% of Black adults are foreign-born Americans, and another 9% of Black individuals are second-generation Americans or the children of immigrants. By 2016, this is interesting, y'all. By 2016, it is estimated that Black immigrant populations will make up about 1/3 of the expected population growth. Black men remain frustrating, particularly significant as Black adult naturalized citizens comprise 11% of the immigrant elector in 2018. So they're growing and growing and growing in their numbers, even though Trump wants to get a lot of people out of here, but the ones that are citizens, right? Black men remain frustrated, narrow, often neglecting to recognize the diversity. Basically, what's happening is this. I may not have read that properly, but this is the bottom line. In our country, as it said right there, they neglect to look at the diversity of the Black vote. They simply assume that if you're so-called Black, that this is what Black people are doing and how they're voting. And then what happens is that they crowbar in all the other Black people here from other countries as if we're all on this same page, that we all have this unified voting pattern when we don't. Black Americans' voting pattern is different from the foreign black man and woman's voting pattern. So the reality is that they are sort of responsible for the situation that they find themselves in from a political point of view. The highest proportion of foreign-born black American men voted for Donald Trump in 2020 presidential election compared to United States-born second-generation black men. That's the stats right there from Booking. Booking is a legitimate publication that puts out stats, stat lines, and stories behind stuff like this. You say, oh, but that's 2020. I'm here to tell you the same patterns remain the same when they voted for Donald Trump in 2024. And now we're setting up here, and TPS status has been taken away from Haitians in particular. And Haitian people are saying, this is foul play. What are you doing? Come on. You can't kick us out of here like this. This is wrong. This is not right. But you did this to yourself when the man talked about you like this.
They decided not to make that stop right now.
Trump going after the mayor at his rally on Long Island, New York.
I think he's a very nice person. But instead of saying we're getting them all out, we're getting them out. He says very simply, we're hiring teachers to teach them English. Can you believe it? We are hiring interpreters.
The Republican governor of Ohio has defended.
You see that? Trump was telling you that when he ran in 2024, and y'all still voted for him. So next time when you all talk about black men voted for Donald Trump at 21%, that black men are not behaving or thinking like black women, that we're not going to vote the way they vote. What black men and what black populations are you talking about? Are you talking about black Americans who were born here, have lineage here? Are you talking about Caribbeans, which would consist of Dominicans and Haitians and Jamaicans and Trinidadians and people from the islands and the Bahamas? And then you have people that are here from Nigeria, South Africa, that may have citizenship. Who are you talking about? You're not talking about black American men born here with lineage, because we had nothing to do with Trump. We were still voting. And I know the Democratic Party has not given us the tangibles that we've been looking for. Don't get me wrong on that. I know somebody's going to sit up here and say, oh, you promoting the Democratic Party. No, I'm not promoting any damn party. To hell with these parties. I'm just giving you the facts and the data. And you want to look this up yourself, you can look at Booking for this data. You can look at this article. See, I give you my sources. A lot of people talk on YouTube and don't give you no damn sources. I give you my sources. This is the article that's peer studied right here. This is the breakdown with the stats right here on this article, Not Like Us. Then you've got Booking. Then you got Pure Research. That's another site that breaks these numbers down. So I'm saying right now to all black American people that are born here with lineage here, when you look at that 21% of black men, because black men were criticized for voting for Trump and not voting for Hillary Clinton, we were getting chastised by people like Barack Obama, who told us why we shouldn't vote for Trump versus voting for Kamala Harris. And then he sits up there at that funeral laughing and skinning and grinning with Donald Trump. So laughing. So you're going to tell us that Donald Trump is a threat, but then you laughing with him, Barack. That's when I knew this man is just talking hot air out of his mouth. But the reality is that black men should have never been lectured to. Our sisters should not be looking at us at a side eye. I'm talking about black people who are lineaged here. Don't look at us with a side eye because we didn't make up the percentage in high numbers of that 21% that gave Donald Trump a bump from the black community. No, that was according to these stats, according to the pattern of foreign black people's voting tendencies, it was them who have been increasing their voting stats for him at 30%. Black Americans only voted for Trump in 2020 at 11 percentile. That bump that he got in 2024 came from a lot of foreign-born, black foreign-born people that are here in the States. And when you look at a place like Miami, where you got all the Haitians and the Dominicans and all these people down there, you got the Cubans, the black Cubans. These folks don't vote the way black Americans vote. They brought into Donald Trump, just as he said he thought Donald Trump was going to be that he's a good businessman. He brought into the okie dokie and toki noki. Okay, he brought into the okie dokie.
The Chef Creole restaurant in Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood is typically bustling with customers. Not today.
People are scared.
Owner Wilkinson Sejour says it's not just the clientele. After 34 years in business, he's lost his entire management team at 7 locations and will likely have to shut down 2 stores due to the end of temporary protected status.
The end of TPS means for me that my future in the hospitality business is almost going to be non-existent.
On Sunday, federal officers made an immigration arrest outside one of his restaurants.
Donald Trump did this to you, not black Americans. Nobody. You did this to yourself. Y'all voted for Donald Trump when you heard him disrespecting your people and saying that y'all was eating dogs and cats in Springfield, Ohio. And despite the things that he has said about your country and about your people, you decided to still vote for him. Not realizing that, hey, I got some Haitian relatives here and cousins and brothers that are here on protective status, TPS. And this man's talking about how he wants to get rid of people. And you didn't think it was you because he was talking about a lot of Latino people and things of that nature. No, he wants to get people out of here because what we have is a blatantly open white supremacist administration, and Donald Trump is the grand wizard of it right there.
Information is power.
Tell the truth.
These are facts, everybody. Everybody, I didn't want to make this a long stream, so I'm going to pull up what you're saying in the chat room, read a few things that you're saying before I end the show. I didn't want to make this a 2-hour, 3-hour because I don't have that time today. I didn't even know if I was going to go live today, but I felt like, hey, you know what? I owe it to the people that support me. People are saying, hey, Info, go live, man. We like to upload the videos, but we need you to go live too, brother. And so I'm saying to myself, go live. So Jonathan Kidd's in the house. And Jonathan Kidd says this. I'm going to put these things up here. I appreciate you all. I really do. Y'all don't know how much I enjoy engaging and hearing what y'all saying in the chat room. Let's see. Obama was skinning and grinning, talking out both sides of his neck. Yeah, Obama was telling us about why we should not vote for Trump, right? But yet he's sitting up there laughing and giggling with Donald Trump. Obama, if he had to use some common sense and looked at the stats, Obama shouldn't be talking. He shouldn't have been talking to black American men. He should have been talking to Haitians and Dominicans and black Cubans in the Latino community. That's who he should have been talking to and wagging his finger at, not black Americans, because we had nothing, according as I have displayed to you here today with stats and articles and data. Black Americans born here had nothing to do with the Trump phenomena. That was the foreign Negroes, and I hate to say it like that. So Obama should have took his narrow you-know-what and talked to those people. Why talk to us when we had nothing to do with it?
Tell the truth.
I hate to break that news to people out there that don't like what I'm saying, but This is what I do on this channel. I'm about truth. I'm about stats. I'm about information. Because a lot of people, when I heard about 21% of black men voting for Trump in this go around, I kept wondering, like, wait a minute, because it didn't make sense to me. But then when I looked into the stats and all of that, I said, okay, now it makes sense. And check this out. This ain't nothing new, y'all. For those of you who watch Yvette Carnell, Yvette Carnell has talked about this. She did a show about this too. Before the Haitians start getting impacted. And check me, I'm not laughing. I'm not giggling. I'm not sitting back saying, yeah, I'm glad they're getting them out of here. I'm just saying some people in the Haitian population that were citizens, those that voted for Trump, those Haitians that voted for Trump, and specifically those in Florida, you actually hurt your own people like that guy, Chef Creole, did, and it's really sad. Let's go right here. We got Bayou Barbie. What's going on? She says, very good research information, man. This was great live. Thank you. Thank you. Miranda, who's giving me a lot of support. I appreciate you, says, we enjoy the live shows too. Yeah, I'm going to be, don't. Look, everybody, check this out. There's a method to my madness. I'm going to continue to do live streams. But the reason why I must upload videos is because what I'm learning about YouTube is that when you upload videos, you get discovered. I don't know if you guys realize this. My channel has been growing not because of the live streams. It's because of the uploaded videos. Because YouTube was originally an uploaded video platform. And so there are people who don't like to watch these long-formed live streams. There are people who like to click into a video and just get into it. Bam, bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. There's some people, they don't like to look at a video where you're talking to the chat and you're reading super chats and right? So some people are not going to watch a 2-3 hour video versus if you make a video that's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. And I've just noticed, and same thing with Honor. You notice when Honor start cutting his videos and he start uploading the videos and putting them in Premiere, he got an increase in discovery and subscribership. A lot of people will discover this channel through the uploaded videos, and then the uploaded videos keep my channel in the algorithms. The mistakes that I made in the past is that I was only going live once a week on Sundays, but I wasn't doing anything else during the week. That really hurt my channel growth, because when I look at my stats on this channel, it says uploading more videos has given the channel more growth and expansion to more eyeballs to come and support the channel. So I'm just doing what is necessary for the health of the channel. But to give y'all content, I got more content coming. I'm increasing the volume. I got some more stuff that's going to blow. There's some stories that I haven't even touched on yet. The one that I told y'all about Argentina, wait until the story I'm going to do. I don't think anybody's done this story yet. It's going to blow you away when you find out that story. Now, let me read your statements. I'm sorry for my, my going off like that. Okay, what's going on, sister? Let me see. Hey, what's going on, sister? She says they were thinking Trump was going to deport black Americans. They say it in their rhetoric now. Yeah. They always say, they always say that, yeah, they're going to get y'all black Americans too. No, they're not getting us. See, there's one thing that Tariq Nasheed, he's a required, you either like him or you don't like him. But one time he said something that did make sense. Black people we're the only ones in this country. There is no paperwork. We're not over here on any kind of paperwork. We're not over here on TPS. There's no paperwork that says, okay, you are now. We don't have any paperwork that they can evoke. We're not over here on green cards. We're not over here on any kind of paperwork that they can get rid of. And even though I don't like Donald Trump said something that was very true just the other day in the Oval Office when he said that the birthright citizenship was meant and designed for the children and the babies of ex-slaves. That's a fact.
Tell the truth.
And I ain't a big fan of Trump, but if he's saying something that's true, I can't sit up here and say, well, he lying. He ain't lying. Birthright citizenship had nothing to do with foreigners who have come over here. And this is one thing I do agree with. People that are coming over here from other countries to have babies purposely. That has to be stopped. So that part that Trump is doing, I do agree with that. But what I most agree with the most is that the amendments and all this constitutional documents, birthright citizenship didn't have a damn thing to do with foreigners. Do you know, and Yvette Carnell talked about this on her channel. Do you know, and there's documents, I'm going to show these documents, that you had people from other countries in the 17 and 1800s and 1600s that when they would come to America, when they came over here in the 1700s and 1800s, that if they were from a foreign country, they would not necessarily get citizenship because they would see them as still having a allegiance to a foreign country. So this whole thing about birthright citizenship, even back in those days, birthright citizenship was a very tricky thing. But it was meant for the children and babies and lineage and for the babies and those that had lineage to those ancestors that came out of the enslaved trade system that were on plantation that was given freemen, the freemen and all these things. That's who it was for. It wasn't for all these other folks that come over here. It wasn't for that. That's the little part that people don't want to deal with. So when these foreigners come over here talking that smack to us, they the ones that can be getting out of here because the only reason why they over here is because they need paperwork. Okay? Black people, we were born into this country with a damn birth certificate and a damn social security number, even though we know the social security number ain't nothing but a number on the stock exchange based on how much work they're going to get out of you in your life expectancy. But the bottom line is we were born with a birth certificate and we were born with a social security number. Like all other American citizens, they didn't have to make no special paperwork for us. Some of these folks are over here on special paperwork.
Tell the truth.
I mean, I hate to be nasty like this, talk like this, but I gotta. What's going on, Tony? Thank you. Philly loves you here. Oh, thank you, man. Look, I know I looked at my stats. I'm getting a lot of love from people in Philadelphia, New York, Chicago, North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, Chi-Town. A lot of people are watching me. Even more so, I'm on the West Coast, but I'm getting more of my viewership from people back east in the southern part of the country, North Carolina, places like that. LA, of course, the Bay Area too. So shout out to all of y'all back in the eastern seaboards, in the Midwestern areas, and in the southern areas that heavily rock with this channel. Thank you. There's a lot of channels on YouTube, but I thank you for your support. Let me continue because I done ran off in a tantrum here, y'all, and I'm sorry. Miss Independent said, we can't make sense out of nonsense. Double cross with right there, but they still voted for him. Right. Double cross was right there in this Independent. How can people do these things? JD Informant is coming in and says, hope you keep your foot on the dude predator. Yeah. Hey, did y'all look, everybody that's watching me right now, make sure that after I end this stream, that you immediately go over and look at the video I did about Sydney Starr. Y'all gotta watch that video if you have not. You've gotta. I tell it like it is on there. And of course, I got a few people, they put comments on there, that didn't like what I was saying, and they're probably people from the LGBTQ community. No disrespect, but I had to say what the truth was. Sydney Starr, and you saw the mugshot, and I show it on my video. Sidney Starr was a whole man going after you know what. And somebody made a good comment. Sidney Starr's probably been doing this. This ain't the first time. I think Sidney Starr felt emboldened to do what Sidney Starr did because Sidney Starr's been doing this. It's just that this time, this kid and their family is pressing charges. So it's terrible. Florida. Yeah, Florida is something else. Let me see. Birthright. Let me see. My birth certificates listed me as a nigga. Yeah. You know what? I am so glad you said that. A lot of Black Americans, such as our grandparents and our parents, if our parents are a little bit older, a lot of them on their birth certificate, it says Negro. Matter of fact, I think it says Negro on mine. Oh my God. I'm going to take a look at my birth certificate again. I think my original, because I had to order a new one, but I think my mom has my original birth certificate. I think it does say Negro on it. Because I was born in 1969. You know, they was calling us Negroes in 1969. I mean, you know, in the 60s, they called us Negroes. And they called us colored people, they still was calling us Negro. Yeah, that's right. I'm born 1969. So my birth certificate probably got Negro on it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Our people go way back to the beginning of this country and all of its ills and all of its successes. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about that. Some of our people got the name Negro on their birth certificate. Okay, good sister here says, no, Trump won't try that. He knows we are the heartbeat of this country. Yeah, he knows that. But see, this is the thing though, Mama Maid, he can't get rid of us anyway. We don't have no paperwork on us that expires. We ain't got no green card issues. We ain't come over here as what do you call that? Naturalized citizens. We didn't have to get sworn in some ceremony. Nah, there's no paperwork that they can evoke on us. No. They can't mess with us. And I think that's why some of these folks that come over here hate on Black Americans, because they know that we're constitutionally and we are in the blood and soil of this place. No. Now, have some Black Americans been picked with by ICE? Yeah, it's happened. But for the most part, you haven't really heard any stories about too many Black Americans being deported physically out of this country. And once again, the Haitians are being deported because they got paperwork on them that's of a temporary status. And this is key. They're not citizens. They have never been given citizenship. And that's why they can be put out of here. We don't have no paperwork on us like that says this Black American is only going to be here temporarily. Shit, our paperwork goes beyond. We are we in the constant. How can I say this? Black Americans are literally in the Constitution of this country. That's why Trump said, and I'm not a Trump fan, but I got to be honest, that's why Trump said that it was meant for the children of ex-slaves. Guess what? We are those children. And we are the children who don't vote the same way that these other groups vote. With that said, everybody, I got to get on out of here. I appreciate you all. Let me see. The queen is here. Barbie says this. She says, Mama Maid, I think he'll try this. Is how every notion how he puts great emphasis on babies of slaves. I think he will say it only. Interesting. Everybody, I got to get ready to end this now. I appreciate you for coming over. I appreciate everybody for being here. I want to give you all a clap. Thank you very much for bearing with me I think we've been on for about an hour or so. I didn't want to make this too long, maybe an hour and a half we've been on. Y'all take care. You tell somebody that you love them, as I always say to you. And I don't know what to say. This brother right here miscalculated. He made a glaring error that he's regretting. And as a result of voting for Donald Trump, voting against your interests, because you thought he was a great businessman, but you voted for him when he talked about your people like a dog, and you voted for him still, and now you're looking at closing your businesses. So Donald Trump has single-handedly impacted your business. And it's really a shame. Y'all take care, y'all.
What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Spring.
This is what this man's done to you.
A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. What they have done to our country by allowing these
everybody. I appreciate
millions
you all.
and millions
Take
of
care.
people
Peace.
to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns.
She my medical, she like my baby mama, know how to take care of me, give my baby problems, you gon' regret everything. So I let her know, gotta let her know, came through the front door, I'll be ready for her. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you, yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you. La, 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 la. Da 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 da. La 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 la
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me, give my baby problems, you gon' regret everything. So I let her know, gotta let her know, came through the front door, I'll be ready for her. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you, yeah, promise, I'ma give it to you.
It's that smile. Lord knows I ain't seen that in a while, but it's your style. So something must be up keeping you down. You a queen that must be heaven sent. Pray my soul, I must repent for not telling you what I meant and how I felt. Honestly, I'm used to throwing wishes in a well. My conscience tells me that I could have helped without fail. Actions speak louder than words, and that's a lesson that I learned all by myself.
Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me, give my baby problems, you gon' regret everything. So I let her know, gotta let her know, came through the front door, I'll be ready for her. And if it's what you want,